So we could start getting direct contact with all the gods and goddesses again. And they all know that it's from the source. And we keep putting blame on governments or archons or all this. We've all made that up when we're the one projecting these fear, these lies, that we're the one who made all that up. The source of all things is just love. Tree of good and evil gives you a rod or a staff. It'll beat you out of love because you choose that. If you choose this tree of life, well, it's kind of like a Buddhist. You'll live a very long life, and then all of a sudden at the end, you'll bear all kinds of beautiful fruit. Versus the tree of good and evil is like looking at a willow tree. So many branches, so many choices, good, bad, black, white. A tree of life is looking at all the hues and discernment all the time. All the time. Being open to everything, seeing through all the views of all hues of man and woman, being open to the male and female divine. And that's when our godparents will speak to you directly, and they'll speak right to your heart of hearts. And if your heart only follows fake man-made laws, it ends up becoming stony tablets that Nosa handed out. But he was trying to do right, but he put it into hard, stony tablets, which made everybody's heart like stone by just, I don't have to care, I can just follow these hard-written laws. Well, that's not how Ma'at, who Moses got him from, Mahat, in Egypt, the 40 laws of Ma'at, he took 10 of them when he left Egypt. Ma'at just gave them as guidelines. Here are the guidelines to live by, my children. Ma'at is mother, is matter. She fell in the word thought. Thought. They formed math, all of the universe, through Fibonacci of everything. That's how they did it. When matter met thought, that became the androgynous source of all things. That's why we need, oh Lord, it sounds anything.
No, because it mathematically fits together. All what you're saying is exactly right. There's the left and the right, and all the thought that goes in between to get it to the other side. It's all exactly whatever you're saying. I know it's right because the numbers have told me all that you're talking about. Your laugh is the laugh. I heard in your voice. I heard the dog laughing. Okay.
I'm a porpoise. I'm a dolphin.
Oh, really? And I'm a penguin. I'm a penguin.
Hi.
I like those two animals. Your purpose, the purpose of life. Okay. But the minute you said it, the first thing that came to mind was the purple animal. What kind of purple animals out there? There's one purple animal.
I'm a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater.
Wait, no, that's a seal that laughs like that. Yeah. When you say the word conduit is also to do with energy.
Conduit. Can do it.
Can do it, but it's an energy. It's a conductor. It's conduit. It's conduit in French. You know what that is, right?
No.
Oh, you don't? Conduit is to drive.
I barely speak. Oh, yeah, because you're all cars. You're just ships being driven around by the energy that's put through you. Conduit.
I saw the Viking ships in the sky.
Your head is just a sponge that's receiving and transmitting. I just happen to have great big horns that's invisible to all of you. Hi. I have huge horns.
Me too.
Mosa always had big horns.
When you say Mosa, now they reuse that word and they brought out Medusa from that word somehow.
Moses,
Medusa.
Oh. I guess.
It's just a continuation. Anything to do with the letter M.
Wherever there's a left, there's a right. So yeah, if there's Moses, those are probably the two sides of the exact same coin in a beam. You know, like I used to be at King Minos in the male form, but also King Minos and the Minotaur.
I like what you did with your arms with that. That's exactly right. That's the DNA movement, what you just did of
Yeah, well, that's
of the value. You just
the
said
more
you gave it a value and you did this,
the more
meaning
I
it's the
learn,
same
the more I'm
person.
able to recode DNA.
Right.
If you and I can learn together, I can recode the DNA, and so can you, and it recodes from time's beginning.
But
Because there is no such thing as time once again. It's non-simultaneous action being observed, and the only reason we observe it linear is so that we can keep a perspective, a measurement of what we call change. That's it. An observable measurement of change is the only thing that we call time. That's it. That's all it is. It's a giggle. It's a giggle. It's a vibration throughout matter that thought had. And we were all given a gift. We're not entitled to anything. We were given a gift to be here to observe the Alpha and the Omega and learn. And the more we learn, oh, the things that we will become. But the problem is every time we, and I'm just going to say it, destroy ourselves, we have to restart. And we keep doing that. The cosmos, mother, grandmother, and grandfather, they get really sick of species doing that.
but they did it on purpose.
Well, no, we did it to ourselves. We chose this simulation because if we were given real power, we would literally destroy things. So instead, we locked ourselves in this hyperspatial tesseract crystal so that we can bounce every idea possible around so that we can learn from it before we destroy anything for real, so that we only destroy ourselves. And every time we screw it up, we then have to reflect back and reincarnate and do it again until we figure out how the crystal should be formed. And it was actually an hourglass. Once an hourglass gets turned inside out and you get it right, then you're able to leave the matrix of it and be able to expand and go back to the real reality, not the simulated one that we've all put ourselves in for only learning purposes. That's what Saturn does. Saturn is grandpa, and if you, Saturn and also Mot's mother, she says we made a deal with Mot. If you don't learn how to do this right, I will make you and break you over and over again until you personally made the deal that you want to come here and learn. And so we all went, yeah, that's right.
So here's a question.
Sure.
Here's a I can do this now. Okay, because the old question doesn't matter anymore. It was irrelevant because I don't even remember. But it's this is very difficult to ask. Can you can see my? You know what? If you want to see me clear, you're gonna have to call me back. Is this color that you see with me okay? Because I'm way clearer than this. When it shows up on my other camera, because when I call out, it shows up on my purple camera. When someone calls me, it shows up on my good camera.
Okay.
Okay, but I just want to say something. Now that I said that, purple is what connects the skies.
Yes.
I don't know why, but the numbers tell me purple connects the skies. Pegasus and purple have the same numeric value.
Yes.
88. But that's only in numbers.
HH.
HH.
Do you know HH? Look at my name. Shawn, SH, second letter, 2. Buchanan, BUCH, right? 4, 24, 42. The answer to life, the universe, and everything.
420.
Jupiter. Yes, 420. Cannabis. Shiva. The dance.
And the Mayans say it also. 1320. The time of the Mayan is 1320, which is 1 and 3, 4. It becomes 420. But the 13 makes it an alternate, and the 13 takes it into the second half of the cube, because the first half is 720 minutes, which is 0 to 11:59 or 12, and the second half starts at 11 something over to 12 something, in which, because 1300 hours is what I'm trying to say, point blank, 1300 hours.
They were taught by Q, who's Quetzalcoatl, who was the exact same incarnation of Buddha, of Yeshua. He was the grand teacher, the grand master, wandering once again, giving true wisdom. Sophia, the love of Sophia, of philosophy, but not man's philosophy, the true natural philosophy that was given that was hidden for all those years in the mystery schools, can be poured out now to all the children. Because you see, the weird thing was, these and I'm not pointing any fingers or putting any blame, but individuals who hold themselves above others, call themselves Zionists or whatever name they want to use, that do that, take these things and utilize them against everyone that they call pigs or swine and say don't give pearls. And you see, they can't stand a child like me because I was born with just knowing these things in my DNA code because I remember all of my lives. But it was so terrifying to walk into this life remembering all that. I hid it. I locked it away. And I scared my parents because I was born completely psychic. And that terrified them. And then when I went to school the first time and a kid started talking to me and I accidentally read his whole mind and started saying everything back to him, he went running away from me and I went, oh, this planet, they can't do that. And so I turned it off. Then the thing is I thought it was what you're saying is how you can't stand it. I thought it was so horrible here. I kept dying. I can make myself die. I can leave your existence.
And then every time you come back within the 2 minute period that it happens, right? It only takes 2 minutes.
Much longer, but yeah, it's
well for me. If I can just break into that story,
yeah.
I would get these terrible things of death is forever, and then once I get it out of my system, I feel so good after. Anyways, I just want to jump back onto what you were saying, if I can.
Yeah.
One of the things I see why we're here is because we have to constantly correct matter and space. The elements that keep this whole entire thing alive has to stay alive in order for us to survive. So
I'm sorry. The only thing you have to actually correct is yourself and your inside, and if you get in how you view the entire cosmos, universe, and everything around you. If you see that only through truth, not a fake delusion, living in bliss in your mind or living through falsity, but if you start perceiving everything just the most positive of the hues of what really is there, and you'll see the negatives, but you'll discern and go. You'll actually watch magic happen right in front of you. The cosmos will answer you and say, and I'm not kidding you. It will say, everything is positive. If you say to the cosmos, there are no chemtrails, that is not even real. I'm not kidding you, within 2 to 3 days, I've watched where it's never, they come back, but the funny thing is you can make them disappear in and out. It sounds crazy, but you just, with faith, there is not a single miracle I've not seen happen. If I need food or anything, or when I needed the things that drove, I have 2 children, and the things that would drive them weirdly crazy around me is I would have no money, and we would need a suitcase because we were moving. And I'd say, oh well, I know there's a place in this town of Goodwill that they'll have 2 suitcases, hardback, really good ones. And I got like $5, we can get it. And they're like, what are you? And I just show up there, and they're there. And the beautiful thing was, the one time I showed up, this lady, the man looked at me and goes, how did you know they were here? An hour ago, a Jewish lady just came in and dropped these off and said someone will come to get them. And I went, I know, that was me. And this happens, and this drove my wives crazy. I live as a monk now, and I have a brother who I drive a little bit crazy, but he just lets me be. And once we get this story out, the thing is, all the NDE people have been looking for this because they remember brief pieces. There's not too many of us, I think, that ever. My wife was so terrified because she accidentally came with me one time when I left. Her entire being was ripped right out of existence and pulled with me into a whole nother reality. 3 days later, we came back and she went and locked herself in an insane asylum. And then they gave her drugs until they literally wiped her entire mind and sent her back to me 2 months later as a 2-year-old child that I had to regrow up. And when she hit teenage stage, she didn't even know who I was anymore and just wanted to run around with other boys and ran away. And I went, well, yeah, whoa, I should have seen that coming. And whose fault was it but mine? Because when I accidentally left, she jumped with me. And yeah, we can do that. but you're so afraid of death and life. But the thing is, when you fall into a black hole, you got no choice, and you will come to realize that everything's energy, and you just won't ever realize it.
But we're still only. Hold on, I have to put that hand up. No matter what I'm going to say, we're still only living the reality that surrounds us, basically. I mean, we might be in our world, but everybody around us doesn't see that, which creates a true man. How can I explain this? Um,
We're all looking at the exact same thing, but no one knows. A fish can't see the water it's swimming in, but you still know it's there.
right, right,
But
exactly.
what happens if I have certain kinds of eyes, and so did Van Gogh, and so did certain artists? I can see all the light codes in everything. I can see every particle right in front of me. I can see the code in the matrix. My eyes were born that way. I can look at the sun and watch, so could Tesla, watch every wave coming through, and I see in my mind how to build a Tesla coil automatically. But every time we go, I've handed it the information out over and over again. And so, but everyone's so happy with the way things are, living in fake comfort. No one wants to move forward. Well, Aquarius isn't like that. Aquarius is like, I'm sorry, and Saturn says, that's enough of this, children. You want to live like pigs in your own swill and just keep spooning this over and over again? Time to put on some wings and fly and grow up. Time to get up the Jacob's ladder. Ring, rung, rung, rung. Go, 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 children. You can fly. Take your broken wings and fly. The time of Pisces of going in two opposite directions is over. It is time to take your wings and fly.
Hold on, is it, when you say two, but won't they always go in opposite directions?
No.
Because in order for them,
they're yin and yang, but the thing is, it's always about what you feed, and Pisces can also wander perfectly together. Absolutely swim in the same direction, always finding. But when you get, it's almost like 2 feet going in the opposite directions. But a dance, two dancers are facing opposite directions, but once they get in harmony with no enmity, the divine male and female, whether in one being or two together, can do anything. What do you think Mary Magdalene and Yeshua did? What do you think Shiva and Shakti did? They came here and changed the world with just walking. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't make videos. They didn't talk. They just wandered around, and every move they made was so magical and pure. The cosmos changed with them, and so did everyone else have to. Every move you make, every move, every thought is energy. Every single thing. That's what everyone doesn't understand. Everything's a ripple. Every ounce, there's no part of it that's not affected. You think something, anything negative about something, they know it. It's automatically put in their heart of hearts. It's put into the cosmic collective consciousness. You only say, if I say to you, Ronald seems crazy today, but then I say, you know what? That's because Ronald's working through something and he's going to come out the other side of this with something absolutely beautiful. I took a negative, made sure to transmute it to love, sent it back to the cosmos, and I watched you instantaneously within a day or two get more clarity. No ifs, ands, or buts. You didn't ask for it. Everyone else asked for it. That's loving you, caring for you, and it automatically happens. I don't have to do anything. I give it to the cosmos, to God, Goddess. If I only think positive about all of you all the time, no matter what's given, and all of us do it, we get heaven on earth transmuted almost within a blink of an eye. It only takes a little bit of faith.
but there's too many right now. This whole planet. I mean, because I always have to go back to the hard surface of the core of what actually is going on. Because we can all turn around tomorrow, and not if nobody moves tomorrow, if nobody moves their ass tomorrow, other than to stay in their house and go to the bathroom, the whole world is corrected for certain things. No more war, no more accidents, no one driving their cars, nothing. No death, other than the natural death, but really we know that's just the end of a body and the passing on of that bead of life inside our body. Can I just talk for a minute?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I have to sort of change this up to something a little different in order to materialize it. I believe there's a little bead inside of me. And when they notified me of the bipolarism, when I used to go to the bathroom, I used to think that bead would fall in the toilet and and that would be the end of my life. That would be my death. And that bead would go along the string. Oh, for a long time, I would think I'd sit on the toilet and I'd go right down the drain. And this little bead that's in between the high and the low blood pressure is continuing on. And when our death comes, we take that bead and it moves along the string, or it moves along the conduit, if you want, into another space and time, and then we live there.
Yeah.
I believe we're on this planet because the creation, more than just creation, wherever time started from, they can live on and correct the universe, but whoever did it is alone. He says, I need more minds to think just in case something else comes about. But I can't have all these minds that I will create are only from me. He says, it's great that it's from me and I know everything, but we need to see other than. So he creates the two tablets, one here and one here. He says they're going to ping pong and learn. So when they come back to me, they can help me regulate the Urantia worlds and work with me.
They will meet in the middle. Then you finally meet in the middle and you can see clearly.
Yes, but it's more than just us. It has nothing to really do with us. It has to do with taking care of time and space. Because if there is no time and space, there aren't these two tablets. The tablets would be like this. By separating them apart, we can make corrections. The time and space is for all corrections and to learn. Because everybody says time is not real, but time is real for the time and space that's needed.
Observable change. Observable change is how you make corrections. You have to observe everything that could possibly go wrong so you can finally get it right.
Right, but not for us. It has nothing to do with us. It only has to do with the matter, the water, the fire, the heat that helps survive this. Do you see what's in front of me right now?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
But you don't feel it. Because when I'm doing this, the air is blowing on me. And I'm getting hot. But there's energy here. I see it. I see stuff in the air. I don't know what it is, but it's in the air. And when I look at you, I'm seeing, first of all, I don't really see you. I'm seeing what the computer is sending me of you. So that's not really you, other than you being at the other end, a hard figure, the other end of a tablet. And the minute you start to think or whatever, there's energy coming off of you. If I put a meter all around you, there's energy. And you're standing, you know what pixels are, right? You see this, there's space here, right? I'm moving over everything in that space. I just moved over space. It took time to get there. I moved over space and I reset space. Now, where does the ripple stop?
It never does.
Well, it doesn't, but it does, because it stops when it gets into, like my ripple will stop into what you hear and see. And you will take that ripple and stop it and throw it out somewhere else and something else. Go ahead.
Where's the end of a drop of water in the ocean? I have the entire ocean of one drop of water, and I have every drop in my entire ocean. A river, an ocean accepts all rivers of energy. If I, at the bottom of my soul and my heart of hearts, the truth of all souls, and I am able to speak directly from that to all of you, from the well of all souls, the only thing that comes out is truth and love. And you see, that's where everyone doesn't, what I'm trying to explain is the times are about to change majorly, more than anyone could ever think. And I think those that have been part of the front lines, the Hanoke, the Harlequins, all the different birds, and we are birds, a species, many of us are from the original creation, birds were made first. We knew it was coming, and we came here this period to get to observe it, but also to be part of it. And the thing is, this is how we get to learn. If we learn inside the crystal, once we're outside the tesseract, we're given our inheritance, our full inheritance. But we all have to. It's not an earned thing. You have to prove it to yourself. If I told you every moment of every second of everything is Judgment Day, and the only one who's judging you is you, will that finally make sense? That's Judgment Day. You're judging yourself. Your mother and father, goddess and goddess, God and goddess, they love their children, and they only want what's best for them. And they want children that are willing and able, not children who just run around and say, "I can do it myself, and I don't need to learn from you." That was the two stories in the beginning. Abel said, "See, we have so much to talk about that got so confused, but it's so simple, really. You should look up those two words. An online etymology dictionary, just look up the two words, simple and really.
Hold on, I have to remove my change from my book.
If you, once those two words, there's so many words that got switched and switched, but they're easy to work through. If you only are like a child, if you are wise as a snake and gentle as a dove, if you are a Quetzalcoatl, and all you want to do is love people and show them where things went wrong so that we can get it right this time. We can do things the light bearing way.
But for the light, you see, we're in 100 years from now. We've already, this earth, I believe, will still be here, or one of these earths, and will we be moved on to the next? So we're only talking about our presence right now, because we've already had this right. Because in 100 years from now, we'll say, okay, did we get it right? Like, even if we get it wrong, we can choose to come back. They can, I mean, whatever they're going to tell us upstairs, they're going to give you the story, and they're going to say, okay, do you understand? I mean, we can understand it right away. We can just plug in once we get up there and see, okay, we're going to look at our story of our life. When we get up there, we're going to plug in and we're going to look at our life and go, oh, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. Oh, I want to go back and do this again. And either you'll be allowed to, well, I think we can choose it. I think we chose to come here.
Yes.
So,
how else are you going to learn?
I don't know if you can read this.
No.
It says the moon. This is what you told me. The moon, the earth, the sun, and the stars. It's such a mess.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Do you realize every word you say, you then try and reflect back into your reality? If you only speak in once it's so. It's all perfectly aligned. Actually, it is a. The only thing that I found that had to be that I was given as a task for assignment, and it sounds weird because what you're saying I agree with, but at the exact same time, if that's why I want to talk. If I could tell you the whole story, and I think just compare notes long enough where maybe you'll see the way I was shown time is not what we think at all. At all. We've laid it out there so wrong that most of us cannot even wrap our mind. Once I was able to have time taken away from me completely, everything showed up. A whole other set of reality. Because then then I realized that there was no spoon anymore. Once there was no spoon, I was shown all what lies underneath.
I wish I can do it. When I said to you the word mess, it wasn't what I was thinking, right?
Okay.
It's only, do I call it metaphor? Anyways, it's only because of what you said in order I wrote it down. So it says mess. But I'm not thinking mess is mixed up. I'm thinking mess hall. I'm thinking church. Mess is a church, a place to go in church. So, so
everything.
The moon, the earth, the sun, the stars, Jupiter is gold. The numeric basic value for Jupiter is gold.
Orange is the new black.
Orange, very funny word. Harley Davidson, okay? Harley Davidson, HD, is also a numeric value for Pluto. It also is an 8 and 4. Okay, 8 and 4, 3 and 6.
42.
1 and 2. It's Jupiter. Pluto is 2 to 1 and 1/2. Okay? So what I'm trying to say by all these things is when you said you don't know numbers, you actually do know numbers in a different way because creation is HD.
High definition.
But it starts off as 1 2. 1 2 represents father and mother. Then from 1 2 it becomes 2 4. Did you call that? That's the cat. And that's also 2 4 is 420. And it's the two worlds of connecting. The minute you get 10 into it, right, it's because the two worlds of 5 connect.
Curiosity killed the cat,
Curiosity.
but satisfaction brought him back.
Nice.
That's what happened. If you have to be curious to wander into 3D reality. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Angels fear won't tread here. Angels of pure light are like, no way, you guys are crazy to go into that simulation. But some angels will dive in here because they love.
Are they the cats?
Yeah.
So let me just finish because 420 marijuana 420 needs to be repeated all the time because of the Mayans, because of their number. But anyways, whatever. The minute you get to 100, anything in the hundreds is because you connected the two worlds. Because it's easy to hear from me to the hallway. I have a hallway. Anyways, the minute you get a 10, it connects the two worlds. Two worlds are 5 and 5, 10. Okay? But 5 makes.
Can I call you back? And can I call you back on the other line?
Yeah, just let me finish this one thing so I don't forget. This is 10. But 10 actually means 5 and 5, right? It's a half. This value of 10 means 1/2. Do you know why? Not because it's on two hands. Because 5 times anything will reduce everything to a half. Okay, call me back. Think about it and call me back.
I gotta go get a smoke and a drink and then I'll call you. But I need to connect. Should I call you on Skype or should I call you on this?
This is the best.
I call you, okay, and it'll be like 4 minutes.
Oh, 4 or 5 minutes is okay, but do you understand?
What?
5 and 5 is 10, right? But it creates two halves where one divides it.
I'm 5 of 9.
5 of 9 is again that's intelligence. Here's what 5 and 9 does.
I'm pretty sure I was genetically created.
Genetic.
I was
a chosen.
a gene program that's been going on a long time. The Bene Gesserit, the Jesuit gene program for making a Moshiach, a new Buddha, a new Messiah. But what happens if 144,000 of us are psychically connected all at once?
Oh, we are, but we're just because of the elements. We're not. Imagine this.
You know why? Do you know why? Because all of you are so covered in carbon, it's very hard to get through. Once I can clear out all the carbon, the 666, you become crystal clear like diamonds, and I can finally start speaking through you. And then you start hearing Ishmael. You become the ears of God. I am Ishmael.
Because we're living here right now, right? And we need to break this wall in order to do it. If we don't break this wall, we can't bring the flow into one world. And you're right, carbon, the black carbon. Yes.
Density.
You know, carbon is also part of ash.
Yes.
And ash is the letter H in French.
I smoke a lot. I smoke a lot of ash.
Call me back in 5. Give me 10 minutes. I have a few things to do.
Outstanding.
Okay, ciao.
I love you.
Okay, I love you. Ciao. You look like me.
Are these teeth real?
Yeah. Yeah.
Many of us don't have front teeth. Many of us broke out our front teeth all when we were children.
Mine are cracked.
Now, so you're going to find a lot of similarities because I think I'm 5 of 9. I think there's 9 of me.
5 of 9.
The thing is, I think I'm probably the sanest and the craziest because I'm the one who I've been doing this too long.
Oh, and you parachute? So
right?
you're not the craziest.
I've never jumped physically out of a plane in this life that I know of, but I've jumped off a lot of. I will get your what we need. I'll call you back after I just smoke and this or that, grab a drink. Maybe I think I'm gonna go make an espresso.
Okay, you're 9 o'clock in the morning right now, or 10.
10. What
10.
time is it there?
12:30.
Okay, perfect. And we can try and record if possible, and see if we can. Let me call you back.
I have this recorded for 35 minutes. If you want, I'll upload it and send it to you.
We'll figure that out later.
Okay, ciao.
Oh, thank you for everything.
Okay,
We'll talk.
okay.